Have you had any Enthu-filled conversations in English today? Anyone? Or better yet, in the past few days? Welcome, Enthu listeners, to another episode of my Enthu English Podcast. And today we're diving into the territory of professional growth, professional development. And I have to admit that it's not just another conversation, it's rather a journey on which we'll explore the delicate dance between ambition and humility. And I'm really excited to share that this episode was inspired by an insightful interview that I listened to the other day. It was the interview with the distinguished Professor Ahmed Kaisi. So I invite you to get ready for some thought-provoking moments, but also some practical takeaways that can potentially level up, spice up your professional journey, and it doesn't matter where you are in your career at the moment. And one more thing, it's always inspiring to have you here with me. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast. I hope you're having a great day, no matter where you are at the moment joining me. And my very secret hope is that you're using English here and there and you're trying to fit it diligently in your schedules. I'm sure you're all doing your best, given your time and resources, family, work commitments. Of course, you can say life is not all about English. Fair enough. Life is more than that. Unless you make English a serious part of it, ideally, enthusiastically. I strongly believe it's possible. Now, without keeping you any longer, please open your ears. Open your ears wide. Not necessarily your eyes. You may choose to keep them closed to activate your visual side, so that at the same time you can let your imagination take the lead. So, please stay with me and listen on. Our topic today, ambition and humility, and the balance between the two. I feel that today's topic will resonate with many of you. Whether you're in a managerial, leadership or junior position, I think that you will finally reach a point when you have an aha moment, realizing what your next ambitious move is or what it involves. Professionally speaking, you might be turning your mind and energies to, for example, getting ahead of competition or landing a dream job. You may be at whatever junction, crossroad of your professional journey, accompanied by high-reaching objectives. These highly ambitious objectives where your English ranks high, which then in turn may determine your ultimate success. In this episode is about approaching ambition with humility. And what does that mean? By approaching ambition in a humble way, you make sure to keep your both feet on the ground while being hyper aware of your strengths and weaknesses. So please dive right into this topic with me now, and as you do, pay attention to how these ideas can potentially apply to your unique circumstances, your highly individualized circumstances. I'm super eager to hear your thoughts at any time. Do feel free to share them with me either in the comments below the episode or in our next online class. So, you are serious about being both ambitious and humble, correct? Of course you are. So, how can you know you're getting the balance right? The professor that I have mentioned, Ahmed Kaisi, who was interviewed by HBR and discussed the topic of ambition in the context of leadership, but I think it's highly applicable. So just asking yourself these questions. Question number 1. Do you possess self-awareness? Question 2. Are you receptive to new ideas and willing to learn? Question 3. Do you demonstrate appreciation for the contributions of others? Question 4. Do you proactively seek input and feedback from others? Now, the question from me is, how do you assess yourself in relation to these questions? His wisdom is broken down into a series of actionable tips, and there are 7 of them that I have selected. Tip number 1, reflect on your career journey. Reflection is key. It involves taking a moment to travel back through your career's winding road, with all these twists and turns. Ask yourself, how far have I come? Who's been my guiding light? Who's been by my side? This exercise, we can call it introspective when you look within for answers, not only helps you acknowledge your progress, but keeps you grounded with your both feet on the ground by recognizing those who fueled your success, who accompanied you along the way. Tip number 2, show gratitude. Yeah, let's not forget to extend our thanks to mentors, colleagues, and everyone who's been a part of our professional journey. Gratitude is simply the glue that binds professional relationships. It's absolutely invaluable. You're listening to the Enthu English Podcast. I'm Klaudia. And here's my invitation for you to join me in a full-time conversation lesson, which is part of my Enthu Business English course. It explores the topic of the dreams and ambitions. Get on this ride with me and, as we do, learn practical language to express your aspirations, maybe your next job interview, in English. Okay, back to our tips. Tip number 3, master the art of listening. What kind of listening, by the way? Imagine the power of truly understanding the viewpoints, perspectives, ideas of others, anyone you're talking to. Actively listening is a superpower of who? Of humble and effective, assertive, confident professional. So it's about listening to hear and understand, rather than, as we often see it happen in our daily communication, rather than listening to create your next answer or argument. Tip number 4, balancing confidence and humility. We all know that building confidence in your abilities is vital. There's one trap, however, the one of overconfidence. So, what am I supposed to do? Find the sweet spot. The sweet spot where you assertively promote your ideas without losing your humility. Tip number 5, rekindle your professional goals. Yeah, bring them back to life. Make them alive again. If you ever find your professional aspirations sort of flickering or fading away or getting fuzzy or blurry, delve deep into why. Is it self-doubt or your reluctance to chase your dreams? Tip number 6, the ever-changing context. Acknowledge that the blend of humility and ambition may shift, just as your career context changes. Whether you're a leader, a team member, or a fresh face in the industry, any industry that you're entering, adapting your approach will boost your professional growth. So the skill of adaptability. And finally, last but not least, of course, tip number 7, lifelong learning. And why not do it in your professional context? It might not be easy to believe that your skills and knowledge can continuously evolve. It might sound like, I can get tired of that. Who says it has to be rapid? You have to do it without taking a break. To take a breath, simply. Take it slow. Go at your own pace and enjoy what you're experiencing along the way so that you can see what's happening. I think that this mindset might open the door to fresh ideas and concepts and might help us see, notice, observe, and adapt accordingly. Alright, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. What's next to come? You might be asking yourselves. Well, the question I'm going to ask you next time is, what would happen if you left your comfort zone? Yeah, so are you ready to break out of your comfort zone and embark on an exciting English language adventure with me in this intriguing episode? In this episode, I'm delving into the transformative power of embracing what I call comfortable discomfort. Have you heard about it before? So discover how this approach can improve your learning experience, how it can boost your confidence, how it can take your English skills to a high level or a much higher level. Please tune in next week and join the Enthu English Podcast for a dynamic listening experience. Thank you again. Stay enthusiastically empowered. You'll hear from me next week. Bye bye.